Flashlight.
Amtrak keeps sending me things trying to convince me to take a train someplace. First of all, I can't take a fucking vacation for like another year, right?
Well, I mean,
So-
getting divorced costs
Oh,
money.
hey, I think we're
Like
streaming.
they don't know.
We're streaming.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, hi.
We're streaming, seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm gonna load YouTube.
All right, we're definitely live. This is Geeks in Space 765. I'm Rob Commander Taco Malda, and I am joined today by Chris DeBona.
Hi. So it started streaming when Rob mentioned he had gotten an email from Amtrak. If you want to pick it up from
there. Do you want to talk about your letter from Amtrak, or should we just go to the zone?
So they're basically like, hey, ride Amtrak.
Well, many months ago, many months ago,
many moons.
I thought, you know what? Maybe taking like a train someplace over the weekend. Actually, I was thinking about taking it like to New England.
That'd be fun.
And nice. Just I thought it'd look nice. The colors.
Spent so much time in old
time
England. Maybe
right.
Maybe
New
colors.
England would be cooler.
Yeah.
But then I looked at exactly how all that works and the price of it, and it's insane that anyone takes a train anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like taking the Eurostar to Brussels, right?
First, I would have to go to Chicago, and then I would have to go to St. Louis before I could finally start heading to New England. So I would have to go 1,000 miles the wrong direction to head back to New England. And it was a mess. And it was, like going to be $1,000 or something. I'm like,
yeah,
why wouldn't I just take a plane and rent a car?
It's in so many cases, it is slower and more expensive.
Yeah.
So, so I'm on the site. Let me clear out something here. I'm trying to find a trip. I'll just do it from Detroit. How about that? Maybe that'll fix it. Trying to go to Bangor on the 16th.
Bangor.
Let's make it the 23rd. Give it a chance, right?
All right.
This trip cannot be booked. You cannot go to Maine. Let's try New Hampshire. So New Hampshire.
Well, the problem is you start Detroit.
Northampton.
The system they have isn't smart enough to figure out that you would need to go to Chicago from Detroit.
That's
so
dumb,
if you hook up Chicago, I bet it'll give you a way to get there.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Something's happening.
So
look,
something's happening.
Oh.
Right. But now you have to figure out how to get to Chicago.
24 hours. Yeah. It's only 50% full though, so you got that going for you.
That's nice.
You can get a room for $407.
It's so expensive. You can get a real hotel room for that. I mean, I guess it's not on tracks.
But it's not. It doesn't move.
That's true. Your window is the same every time you look at it.
My question is, if you get a room, do you have to have 2 people in it?
I think that's up to you, Chris.
Oh, is it really?
It depends on who you meet in the lounge
on the way.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, I don't know what your marriage is like, but we're on a train, and you know the rules on trains are
train rules are different than hotel lounge rules.
It's actually in a lot of marriage contracts.
Yeah, what happens in the sleeper car stays in the
right. It's like the loophole, the hole in the sheets loophole.
Hole in the sheets loophole,
or soaking.
We'll go over that later.
Or soaking. That's the one.
Oh yeah, that was the. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Letterkenny.
Yeah,
Letterkenny.
There's a good season this season.
Franny and I just got to, you know how we do it in little fits and starts.
Yeah.
Visits. So we're on season 6.
Oh,
it's okay.
The season where they're all doing the talk show, that one's rough.
Yeah, I'm worried about that.
I'll tell you, the thing that they mixed up this season, or they got right this season, is they're not. The previous seasons they would have like 5 locations, and every episode was the same 5 locations with the same groups of people doing basically the same bit, and it would just cycle. This season was different locations. Like they kind of had a little bit of a story. No, well, it's just every episode felt distinct as opposed to we're replaying our poem from last week.
Yeah, the chips episode is the crowning achievement.
They don't have all
This is-
dressed at either of the grocery stores, and I'm pretty disappointed about
I
that.
can't believe you've never had all dressed chips.
I've never had
being
all
this close
dressed.
to Canada.
I know.
All
I didn't know. Did you guys want to talk more about the alligators?
Yeah. So, point of personal privilege, moderator. We wanted to review a story from last week because we were talking. What were we talking about? Some. We were talking about something else TV wise, and I thought, the alligator story about the family of alligators that were evicted from a house. There was that show Dinosaurs, and then Rob said,
Yeah, that I thought the same thing, that we could
"Yeah, it's like
model a sitcom
right,
about the family of alligators and just follow.
yeah."
We could Family Guy it like Family Guy did The Simpsons, right?
Sure.
Well, I was
Just
more
have
thinking
a
like, so you know how Alligators was basically Archie Bunker, the traditional family sitcom, but with dinosaurs, Ralph Cramden and all that. I think, and I'm not being racist here. Okay. I think that what the Jeffersons did to bring black people into sitcoms, the alligators could be an allegory for
An alligator
for
allegory.
yeah,
Yeah.
an alligatory,
An
if you will.
alligator. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll workshop it.
So sort of like how Fresh Off the Boat sort of brought Asian folks into the primetime spots. Um, Alligators could be the metaphor, right? Show, right? So it's like the
Yeah.
Jeffersons. It's like the Junkyard one with the guy who married
Sanford
Buffy.
and Son.
Yeah, Sanford Stud. I think that'd be a great way of approaching it.
I
Alligators.
didn't think Red Fox married Buffy though. You lost me on that one.
No. So Freddie Prinze Jr.
Hmm.
married Sarah Michelle Gellar,
Right.
and
But I don't see what
he's
does that have
the
to do with Sanford and
son.
Son.
Well, hold on, I'll figure this out.
You got to workshop it. It's going to take some effort. Magic doesn't just happen.
Sanford and Son. Okay, so
Well, we could start off talking about how alligators were almost wiped out, and it would be in the alligator's voice. But they grew so numerous that they had to move to Michigan, right? So it's about the
As you
struggle.
do.
Yeah, it's about the struggle of it's a
I'm sorry. I'm thinking
alligator.
about it. Yeah.
It's an
Go ahead.
alligator out of water story, if you will.
Oh,
Where
that's
they have
so
to, right?
good.
Where they have to move from
Man.
Florida
Mm.
to
Should we just take
Michigan.
our Golden Globe now? That's my question.
Yeah.
Well, while we're on Golden Globes,
And it was Chico and the Man again, bringing a formerly ignored ethnic group to the fore in an American sitcom. So that's how my head works. Let's continue.
okay. So, did you see the Golden Globes? Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
I'm glad they won. I never watched those award shows.
No, me either. But they got Best Actor and Best Actress out of that thing, and I mean that's really cool.
Love me some Data,
Right, Michelle Yeoh. I rewatched that movie actually last weekend, and we had forgotten that they were even nominated for stuff, but I was really happy about that because that movie is really, really, really good.
And what a nice guy. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
Indeed.
They should really tailor those awards though for each one. Like,
Are you being
how
racist
cool
right
it'd be
now?
if he got no, I mean if he got like an everything bagel shaped
Oh yeah.
globe, right?
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Or he goes, the presenter opens up his coat and it comes out on a little arm, and presents it to him, like in Goonies. Goonies.
They got lost though because they couldn't find the map.
Yeah.
I got lost on the way to the stage. I actually watched. So Rob, you had shared in the link, and we can come back to the NUKIE story. But Red Letter Media is doing their year in review.
Yeah, I saw that.
Movie thing. So of course that means that Rob is going to watch all of those movies now, because that's how I function. And so I watched The Menu, and that was really, really fun.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's a little bit slow to start, but I love sort of at first. Do you think it's just a lampooning of all of that pretentious food stuff that is so popular now? And then it gets a little dark right away.
Yeah. When
Yeah.
I saw that too, and I really want to watch X and Pearl, You know, I hadn't even heard about those.
I watched
Um,
X. X is really cool. I have Pearl to watch next.
I admit I was when they were talking about Glass Onion, I was nodding the whole time. I'm like, yeah, man, this was some thin crap.
I liked
You
Glass
know,
Onion, but it's popcorn.
it's not even. I don't know, man. Did you end up watching it, Roseanne?
No, I haven't
Yeah,
watched it.
yeah. It's just.
I was going to, then you said it sucked.
Well,
And I was
Yeah.
like,
you can no. I mean,
this
you
weekend.
go into it thinking it's gonna suck. That way, you'll get some out of it, right?
Sure.
But
Sure.
yeah, it's you know the phrase from the Filthy Critic. This is the GFers from Hollywood, you know, thinking that we care about their crap, you know, and it's like, ugh, you know, so. But who
I
am
enjoy it.
I?
It's popcorn
Who
fluff.
am I? You know,
I got no
who am
problem
I
with the popcorn fluff.
to judge the electorate, as we discussed earlier?
Well, given how much money Avatar has made,
Oh, good lord!
so I saw Avatar.
Oh, you watched it?
I finally did a couple of days ago.
Did you pay green money or blue money?
All right, are you ready for how much I paid to go see Avatar?
Yeah.
I
actually wanna hear
paid
this.
25 cents.
Oh, well, that's
nice.
Right? Because
How
I
did you
had like
pay
a
25 cents?
because I
Is
had
that
like
the
a free
bribe
ticket
at your local movie house.
I had like a free ticket, and but because I saw it in IMAX 3D, it had the premium movie surcharge, which was 25 cents. And I really wish I could have paid with a physical quarter, but who has a quarter?
Why did you have a free ticket?
Because you get points
You'd seen enough.
when you're on a membership, or when you get to your whatever. I have their member plan thing, so I get points. So I end up getting a movie ticket every few months.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
So is it really free, or is it amortized across the cost of other movies you've watched?
Look, if you want to be a buzzkill about it,
I do.
sure. All right, then yeah,
it is my thing.
Yeah, no, nothing. Then it was miserable, and I was unhappy that I
Awesome.
paid 25 cents for 3 hours of totally fine entertainment.
Also, the theaters around here don't offer free tickets as a part of their, club plans, whatever. You get free concessions.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Mine is you get free tickets, but and like also like 20% discount on stuff if you use their plans. Or I get points or something. Like I don't even know. It's
Right.
just sometimes they say you get a free ticket, and so I say cool. And then I have to click the checkbox to say no, don't subscribe me to your mailing list, because every time I buy a ticket in their app, it rechecks the box to subscribe me to their mailing list.
you should just get it then.
I hate it so much. I hate bad design patterns like that. Like that is my hate zone.
That's not a bad design pattern from their standpoint.
That's true.
That's exactly
That's
what
true.
they want.
Ugh. I seem to recall at one point in history we were told to make a checkbox like that standard, and I'm so angry about that. Back in the day, we were told to default the checkbox to the newsletter on because somebody was pushing the newsletter at that point. Oh, it made me so mad.
spammers.
Right. So Avatar is totally watchable. I actually kind of enjoyed it more than the first one.
So my question is, if so you can't smell, right? But you're fully enabled from an rods and cones perspective. If somebody is blue-green colorblind, should they go and watch Avatar?
Well, you might miss out on the subtle shade gradation between the jungle forest avatars and the sea avatars. The sea Navi, they're a slightly different tint.
Yep.
Can't wait till Avatar 3 where we meet the magma Navi.
I actually think that's going to be really cool.
The ones that live inside the center of the Earth.
Oh, that'll be great.
Their planet.
Pandora,
sorry.
No, I mean, you can hate on it all you want. It's a roller coaster ride of a movie, and it's fun.
Now, to be clear, I don't hate it at all. I honestly think almost all the hate for Avatar is simply because it was so successful.
For sure.
It is not a terrible
there's
movie. It's not a terrible movie. It's just not great. Right?
Yeah, I think it's a watch once while maybe cleaning the house.
Yeah, it is. It is basically $100 million Fern Gully with aliens instead of animals.
Sure.
That's exactly what it is.
For me, a movie like this is a watch twice. Once in the theater with the biggest fucking screen you can find and 3D goggles if it's available, and then I'll watch it a second time in 6 months when it's out on a streaming platform, and just like pick, and then I'll like look at it more from a technical perspective. But from a pure let's go for a ride, it's just fun, and I enjoyed it tremendously. And they do some really clever things. I got the middle third is really fun, where they like explore the new water area and they
Yeah, I heard it's a
swim.
little awkward
It's
though. It
beautiful.
turns into a pornographic film with the tails. I mean, that
Yep.
seems like an odd choice.
Well, they always do that. Their tail sex has always been a weird part of it. Do you want a big spoiler though?
Yeah,
Sure.
I want more traditional tail
Didn't they
sex
chop
in
off
my
his
sci-fi
tail or
movies.
something?
Well, I can talk to you all about my new cat that has no tail. But
I thought it was about Avatar. Like during the big fight, the inciting event was he kicked the guy in the tail jam.
Mm. They do a number of fun things. They brought back Sigourney Weaver, but now she's a kid, and there's some question about who's the dad of the Na'vi that fathered the Sigourney Weaver baby. And then also they brought back the military guy, but he's an avatar.
As an avatar, and
but with his brain.
But his kid's now Jake stole his kid or something.
They have just enough sci-fi premise stuff to make it interesting. The deal was that at the end of the previous movie, when the humans abandoned Pandora, but babies in the logic of this world cannot be put into suspended animation, which is required for flying back to Earth. So the babies had to stay on Pandora, of which the Colonel guy, the bad guy from the first movie, had a baby that we never knew anything about. They never mentioned it in the first movie.
With Sigourney Weaver?
No. But that baby then is raised by the scientists that stayed behind.
With Gamora.
She is the surrogate mom. Natiri. Natiri. No, there's just enough.
That's actually Gamora's first name. People don't know it's the same cinematic universe.
That's right. But a lot of it is about whale hunting. And that's kind of like, in the first one, it was deforestation so they could strip mine. Now it's let's whale hunt.
Shave the whales.
Yep. It's fun. I absolutely recommend you go and see it.
3 hours is a long time.
It is way too long. My other beef is that there's too many kids because the Sully family has 4 kids plus an adopted kid, and then you go to the
grassy high,
and then you go to the water people, and they've got like 5 kids. So by the 3-hour mark of this movie, you're juggling like 15 characters, and they're all blue.
listen. I don't. Sometimes, if your genitalia isn't just external but just floating around there, like their tails do, like they go into a crowded subway and suddenly there's like 5 new kids by the end of the subway ride.
Boop, boop, boop.
Because the tails, they can't control them.
I don't think that their tails are their sex organs. I think they're a psychic link.
Being Avatar, So
actually, no. They use the sea people use their tails to swim, so they make fun of the jungle people because the jungle people have weak tails.
Wait, if the tails are used to swim and their ocean is as prolific a space for life as, say, ours with plankton and the rest, are they constantly in psychic communication with the plankton? Are they connected to the world of water?
Well, yeah,
Rob,
they can use their hair sex thing to talk to the plants, and that's what they do. That's like they did that in the first movie, though.
Yeah. I do wonder why they have so much hair if there's an aquatic species, right? I mean, are they all like articulatable tentacle hair? Is it like a Medusa hair?
They wrap it around their psychic brain link.
Oh, right.
Hairs. They got their braid
thing from the Matrix.
So
yeah.
So it's like foreskin.
Yeah, the hair is like foreskin.
All right, perfect.
Okay, Avatar foreskin. That's your.
There you go.
Full quote
that's it. It's like foreskin.
2 episodes away. Avatar foreskin. We're taking the franchise on a drastically different turn now, gentlemen.
Now,
so
Rob,
it doesn't get stagnant.
For you, Rob, you need to watch Triangle of Sadness.
Are you sure?
Yes. Yes.
I don't think I need to watch it. All right, I'll give it a shot.
No, it's not a long, depressing slog. It's more of a eat the rich, social commentary thing. But the middle third, there's trouble on their yacht, and that sequence alone is going to it's gross, and wild.
Because Zen has a boat.
Yeah, it's just like the shits and giggles.
Yeah.
It's just like pulling into Butter what's his name's station.
No. So we've got the Red Letter Media story, which was where I was starting before we got distracted on Avatar. They've been collecting copies of NUKIE for a while, and it's been always in the background whenever they sit in their theater. And there's a whole shelf of NUKIE, and they joke about NUKIE sometimes, and like they play Jenga with copies of NUKIE, and it's been a running gag. But they actually did something neat a few weeks ago, where they took their copies of NUKIE. And then they sent them in to get graded, and they actually did a story, like a little video piece about the questionable practices behind grading sealed copies of like video games and VHS tapes and all that. They did like a good little piece, and they sent in stuff to get it graded, and then they got a graded copy of NUKIE. And then for the finale, in order to make their graded copy of NUKIE more valuable, they destroyed all of their copies of NUKIE, thus reducing the marketplace or the world of the total copy of NUKIE by like 100+ copies. It's actually a well done little piece.
Oh my God, it's got Steve Rails back. Wow, I'm surprised I haven't seen this.
And they did actually, there's a second piece. Well, there's two videos. There's one where they actually watch NUKIE, and then there's the video piece, and that's NUKIE.
Look at that.
NUKIE! NUKIE! They scream NUKIE like a million times. It's amazing. And both of those videos you should definitely watch. But
Look at that jumpsuit. That's a future jumpsuit if I've ever seen one.
In the future, nobody has time for belts.
And there's a nun there, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And a guy with a gun in the background. I have to see this movie.
Yeah. I'd rather watch this than Avatar.
No, that is not true. I promise you.
It's the circle of life. I know. Oh, look at that keyboard. That's quite a keyboard.
Yeah, it kind of is. Got like a old school.
So do you think they used a lot of paper mache and clay, or like not much?
It's bad, man. It's bad. Well, I highly recommend you watch both of these videos, but the story behind it is just neat. Like they did a piece on the question, how there's people grading sealed copies of things and then auctioning them, and there's obviously shenaniganery occurring between these two organizations.
Look at that winning bid.
That can't be real. I hope it is. They were donating it to charity.
Well, that's
no,
cool.
it went for $80,000.
I didn't realize that the bidding had ended.
Yeah.
That's a very lot of money.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Sure.
They raised money for St. Jude and I think a Wisconsin Animal Rescue or something. Like
they have 100% positive feedback. I'm just saying.
There you go. Well, good for them. They did something cool, and those videos are entertaining, and they actually did a little raising of awareness about the sketchy nature of the grading services and the market for that. It's makes me uncomfortable, like NFT uncomfortable. And Dungeons and Dragons is going to get a live action series on Paramount Plus, but it's not, as far as I can tell, connected to the Dungeons and Dragons movie that's going to be coming out in a few months.
Wait, which Dungeons and Dragons movie? Because there's been a number.
Oh, there's more? There's one coming out. Like
that was a joke, because there's the new one coming out, but then there was the one with Jeremy Irons and
that's like 20 years old
stuff. There's a bunch of nonsense out there, but this one's different.
They rolled up new character sheets and made a new show.
They decided to go after to base it on the old Dungeons and Dragons cartoon show.
Oh, is that what this is?
No, I have no idea.
God, that'd be great.
I could see that would be it, and that would both please and anger me at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We're gonna have to throw a saving roll for that one.
Yeah. Roll a d20.
Roll a d20.
One sec. Okay. Rolling a d20 for you.
I only have a d6.
Oh, bad news.
Uh-oh.
All right.
It's a 2. It's a 3. We're screwed.
You got a 3.
Paramount saves. The rest of us take full damage.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
That makes sense. So we've got the trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Quantumania.
which I only share because I think that Chris, you should scrub through and let's find Modok, because
Let's find
Modok
Modok.
he's in there.
Yeah, no,
and
I know he's in here. Let me find him.
You
and
don't get a
he's
good shot of him, though.
I know.
Yeah, he's just in the background for like a millisecond.
Yeah, I think he's in 2 shots. And we're not seeing whatever you're scrubbing.
I know. I want to get to it so I don't get you copy struck.
Oh, I see. Well, it's the audio that copy strikes us, not the video.
There you go. Ready?
Yep.
Golden Modok.
Oh, it's Modok.
Yeah.
There's
another one where you see more.
You see like the back of his
kind
head,
of the side and back, where he looks more like traditional Modok
Yeah.
instead of whatever thing that was.
Yeah,
that was gold armored Modok. Apparently.
Yeah, there.
I'm gonna find the Modok part. You guys keep talking.
There you go. So yeah, I love that for all the flaws of the Phase 4 Marvel, I'm glad that we're gonna finally get a Modok on film, because I think that's the funniest character. Like, just looking, it's just insane. It's great. I barely know anything about the character. Did either of you watch the Patton Oswalt show?
No,
I did not.
I was gonna say this kind of reminded me of the part where Wanda disassembles the other Illuminati.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So let's keep going. I'm trying to find the spot where you can see him for like a millisecond.
Yeah, but it's like an over-the-shoulder shot of his head.
Yeah.
The Patton Oswalt show is like kind of Robot Chicken level, like humor. I think it's stop motion too. It might be. I don't know if it's stop motion or if it's just crappy CGI. But it's.
Yeah, I don't. What streaming service was that on?
It might have been on Hulu.
Oof. No one really knows.
Right. It's on Blumper.
Blumper.
I mean, it's not a good show, but it's worth watching an episode or two just to see the tone and just to see what they did with the character. They made MODOK super silly, basically.
Yeah. Because he wasn't silly before.
Yeah.
Well, they embraced the lunacy of what his character looks like.
I found it.
A giant floating head with little teeny
legs.
Arms and legs.
Little teeny legs. He had a good. He was a good bad guy in an episode of. In the few issues of Gwenpool too. Yeah, there you go. So that's all you get to see of MODOK.
There it is. That looks more like MODOK.
Yeah, that looks like MODOK. And the fact that they're
using the guy from Yellow Jacket for it. Right?
Is that who that is? That's awesome.
Corey Stoller.
Oh, good for that guy.
Yeah.
I could imagine I could imagine almost no superhero that I would rather be, because like all you got to do is scan your face. Like it's got to be the easiest
and then
job.
do a couple of things inside a sound booth.
Yeah.
I think that's all the MCU now. It's just a bunch of guys in a sound booth and a really detailed scan of your head.
Probably. I mean, that's why all the characters have masks, right? So they can just use stunt doubles.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just CGI at that point.
Yeah, right? That's true.
For good and for bad. I mean,
yeah.
Okay, mostly for bad. I mean, there's been some terrible.
Oh yeah. CGI, Oh yeah. Well, that one's coming out in like a month or so. I'm looking forward to it. But you know me, I like the popcorn.
No, I'm looking forward to it too. I've always liked the Ant-Mans,
They're fun.
I don't know if Kang's going to resonate with the audience.
I really liked him in Loki.
He was all right.
Kang's kind of a boring villain.
It's kind of boring, and also he chews the scenery, and he didn't earn it. So I'm like,
that's fair.
I mean, they picked a good actor. I mean, but it's just dull.
He was in a show? What was it? Cthulhu Country. What was that?
Lovecraft Country. Boy,
he was great in that. And that show was really
fantastic.
I mean, I'm not going to say that show's 5-star masterpiece, but there's some episodes of it that'll rock your world.
Boy, was it good.
Sure.
Tim Kang. Is that really his name? No, that's Kang actor, and it brought up the guy who was in The Mentalist. All right.
The only other thing that I had on the list was one that came out of Discord. Commander Keen shared this Chuck E. Cheese is still using floppy disks.
Yeah. That was floating around.
And I haven't actually read this one yet, but I'm actually looking forward to it.
Evergreen.
It does seem weird Well, that's not even evergreen. That's dated this week.
No, evergreen.
But
It means the show that they can show forever. Wow.
This is kind of related to a few months ago. We had the story about the guy who just bulk purchases floppies and then sells them through his store to various
Yeah, I remember that
organizations
story.
because, like, almost all aircraft mechanics are done on floppies yet.
yeah,
There's a whole bunch of industries that all rely on that. So and
I've
you
cornered
just can't buy them easily.
I've cornered the 5 1/4 market. You pay my
Well-
prices or you don't get nothing.
The NOTAM market crash was actually it was a floppy disk. That went bad. I don't know if that's true. I just made that up, but it's a good story.
That's fair.
But it could very well be true.
That's right. Oh, I watched for the first, and the Discord was talking about it earlier. I watched for the first time ever, like 2 days ago, Too Many Cooks.
Too many cooks.
Too Many Cooks. Rob, have you
Too
seen
many
this?
cooks.
Yes.
Of course, Rob's.
Okay, so you also need to watch Yule Log because it's the same people. And the same humor in many ways. But I had never seen this before, and it rocked my world. We're like, because it's like what? It's like 11 minutes long, and like 2 minutes in, it's just kind of like beating its joke up. And I'm like, is this all it is? And Kathleen's like, you have to keep watching. I'm like, all right. And then it goes bonkers.
So after we talked about this before, my daughter had mentioned it. We were talking, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that's insane." And my wife turned out hadn't watched it, so I'm like,
fun.
okay, here we go. And she's like, "It keeps going."
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know,
Yep.
so yeah, it was kind of fun.
When they get to spoilers for Too Many Cooks, when they get to the part where the people are the credits and the credits are their screaming corpses,
Yeah.
like that's next level clever. I love that. That is my comedy jam right there. And the serial killer just sort of like in the background for the first few minutes.
Yeah.
So well done. But you should watch Yule Log. It's you can see it very much. There's a connection. They're similar in some ways.
And Smarf or Snarf.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Smarf, yeah. Like that's messed up.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Is there anything good coming out media wise this weekend? Rob, watch Triangle of Sadness.
Maybe.
And even if you only watch through the yacht scene,
it's better than a trip to Chuck E. Cheese. That's all I got to say.
That's true. That's true. Do we have anything else we want to cover before we say goodbye?
I don't think so. I think that, Rob, we should put our pilot together for alligators.
Yeah, for sure.
The alligator allegory.
Yeah. So, and we can end it just like dinosaurs.
You mean badly? With a meteor?
Well, no. So dinosaurs famously ended with a meteor killing the entire culture of the dinosaurs in their Fred Flintstone-esque way.
Yep.
But I figure if we're talking about a family of alligators just outside of Orlando, right?
Mm-hmm.
It would be floods, right? Because Florida will be underwater soon.
Sure.
So we should have a flood, and then alligators. Yeah, they can go in the water.
I thought the alligator family was going to live in Michigan, though.
Oh, okay. Maybe it gets too hot then, and they can't regulate their temperature. I don't know.
I mean,
a good?
You can put them anywhere you want. You're the show creator.
It's true. It's true. Maybe in Culver City, California.
Somewhere convenient for the commute.
For the film.
Let's say Chelsea. It's halfway between Rob and I's house.
Well, what I worry about, can I tell you what I worry about is, I don't know if y'all have an alligator problem, but I don't want it to be like the not El Chapo, but Pablo Escobar bringing hippos to Colombia, for Michigan and alligators, right? So.
Well, it wouldn't be a problem once winter hit.
That's true.
The alligators don't
also
last long.
Michigan has a lot of guns, so I bet people would be like super into hunting alligator.
Oh, I'm sure they're super
clean them out.
Alligator down south.
Are you guys?
I
do
say
you
if
guys have a bounty on feral pigs yet, or what's going on?
No, and I don't think I would have to look, but I don't think you can even shoot them whenever you want unless they're destroying your property.
Interesting.
Like I know in Texas, it's pretty much just open season on pigs, whenever for whoever.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we have those rules here yet, even
Here
though
we
we
go.
do have a sizable feral pig population.
I found a site that details every state's approach to hunting feral pigs. So in Alabama, you'll need a small game hunting license. And let's see now, but you can do it all year on private land, and you can even do night hunting if you have a permit. So that's cool, and you can bait them. Wow, okay, cool, and no limit. You can no limit feral pig hunt.
Well, let's go there, I guess. I don't want a feral pig hunt.
Alaska says there's no viable feral hog population. Okay. So they have no allocation for that. Same thing in Arizona, which is surprising. I thought they would have a big problem because, Arizona's a hellscape.
Feral pig hellscape.
It's a feral pig hellscape.
That sounds like a name for a good rock band. Feral pig hellscape.
I drove through Arizona for the first time a couple years ago, and it was actually, it and New Mexico were surprisingly beautiful.
Oh, for sure.
Gorgeous. But
Arizona's gorgeous.
Like every stop, though, I have a story about. I'm not moving to Arizona. Nope. I'll tell you after we stop streaming.
All right, then. Well, let's do that. Let's say goodbye to Rob Roseboom.
Goodbye.
And goodbye, Chris DeBona.
Hogman Outdoors signing off.
That was episode 765 of Geeks in Space. I was Rob Commander Taco Malda. We'll see you next week. Bye.